Hi and welcome to Mancave Projects. So today I'm going to be building a vegetable patch from an old pallet. Right, so I didn't even know I was going to do this project today, but I've had this old pallet knocking around the garden for quite some time. I had some building materials delivered a few weeks ago, and obviously this pallet was left over from that. Been meaning to take it to the recycle centre but haven't got round to it. I've also got this small patch of land which is in front of the greenhouse again. I keep meaning to landscape this but haven't had time to do it. And I was in Aldi supermarket this morning. I noticed that they've got some vegetable compost in stock, which is basically sterile soil and peat compost. So I've decided to turn this old pallet, at least for now, into a temporary vegetable patch. I've also got in the shed, which I've found, some weed control fabric, so we're going to use that to contain the vegetable compost inside the pallet. So what you'll basically need for this job is a pallet, some weed control fabric and some medium like vegetable compost to go inside. So the first thing we do is I've turned the pallet upside down, and we just want to cover the entire area of the pallet with this weed control fabric. So the sides as well. It doesn't matter whether you've just got pieces of this or you do it all in one go. Just as long as when you fastened it all down, there are no large gaps for the compost or the soil to fall out of. So I'm using an electric staple gun, but you can easily just use nails to tack this down, or a hand staple gun if you like. So for the second piece, I am going to overlap it quite a lot, about maybe 6 inches or so, just to obviously be able to retain that soil or compost. And then I'll show you this. So I've left an overlap as well. This will become the top, so that I can fold the weed control fabric over, and once I've stapled that down, it just prevents it from fraying like this. It just means it'll last a lot longer. Okay, so this is the final piece to go on. Again, make sure you've got enough lengthways to double this over for the edge, and obviously that you've got enough coming up the side again to double that over, and a good overlap on over the second piece. Just a quick mention of this particular weed fabric. So this is the heavy duty weed fabric, and the heavy duty one normally has a green stripe running through it. You can buy this in Screwfix tool station in the UK, B&Q, any of the DIY stores really. Fairly cheap, and this whole project from start to finish with an electric stapler, taken about 10 minutes if that. So once we're finished, this is what we end up with. So this is where our rows of vegetables are going to go in, and obviously that's the back. So the piece of ground I've chosen here is fairly level. If the piece of ground you're placing the pallet onto isn't level, then obviously you get it level first. Once the pallet is in place with the compost or soil inside it, you're not really going to have the ability to move it. It's going to be too heavy, and if you try and move it, there is a possibility that this weed control fabric will just tear off the bottom. Okay, so once we've got our pallet in place, I've just made sure there's a little bit of room just around the outside edge, so I can at least put a foot down there to get to the back of the pallet. So next thing to do is to obviously fill the structure now with our vegetable compost. So there you go, that's the pallet filled. It took 4.5 bags of this vegetable compost, and these are 40 litre bags. I think this is a Euro pallet, which is roughly, I think, about 1.1 metres by 900 millimetres wide.